The early March sun painted the Redstone plains in amber, the 200-acre Texas ranch waking to a new day, the lake shimmering in the distance, its surface reflecting the dawn. Wildflowers along the pasture's edge blooming in vibrant yellows and purples, their delicate forms swaying in the breeze, ancient oaks standing tall, their gnarled branches heavy with history. The air rich with the scent of cedar and fresh earth, cattle lowing softly in the fields, blending with the morning's quiet. John Parker, 54, rose as he had for decades, his bones aching but resolute. The red barn and snare shed glowing in the sunlight, the burn scar on his forearm a quiet reminder of battles fought, stepping into the modest stable to greet Esperanza, his chestnut mare. Her soft neigh a familiar comfort, the wildflowers enduring despite the storms that had come before. The Parker Ranch, 20 miles from Redstone's town center, was far enough for peace but close enough to stay connected. The recent years of drought had made John feel the ranch was fading from memory. 5 years of dry seasons turning green pastures yellow, each animal sold to keep the land a blow to John's pride. All but Esperanza, morning, girl, John murmured, brushing her mane as she ate. You must think I'm a fool, Esperanza tilting her head as if understanding, John smiling. Mary Ellen says we could buy a used tractor with what you're worth. But some values can't be counted in dollars, can they? The old radio on the stable wall crackling with local news, a headline catching his ear. The Redstone Spring Festival kicks off tomorrow, with famed horse breeder Alejandro Mendoza arriving with his champion, conqueror, John pausing, the festival a tradition his father, Thomas Parker, once dominated. The Parker name synonymous with quality horse breeding, the lake glowing gold in the distance, its calm a testament to the legacy stirring, the wildflowers along the stable trembling in the breeze. The plains stretching wide and unbroken, their roots deep in the Texas soil. Grandpa, breakfast. Ethan's voice echoed from the house, John joining the family at the kitchen table. Mary Ellen serving coffee and biscuits, her eyes sharp despite the lines of age. You're thinking about the festival, aren't you? She asked, knowing him too well, John shaking his head. Those days are done, Mary Ellen. Ethan, 14, and full of fire, looking between them. What festival? Frank Hensley walking in. The spring festival. Everyone's talking about it. Alejandro Mendoza's coming with conqueror, 3-time national champ. Ethan's enthusiasm palpable. They say he could sell that horse for more than this ranch is worth. Mary Ellen shooting Frank a look. But the damage was done, John chewing his biscuit in silence. Your great-grandpa used to compete in those festivals, Mary Ellen explained. Parker horses were respected across Texas. Ethan's eyes lighting up. Really, Grandpa? John standing. That was another time. We've got work today, but as he crossed the yard, a wound in his pride stirred, not envy of Mendoza, but a deeper ache for what the Parkers once were, the wildflowers along the house trembling in the breeze, the plains stretching wide and unbroken, their roots deep in the Texas soil. Alejandro Mendoza arrived in Redstone like a storm, his caravan a spectacle, 3 specialized horse transport trucks, 2 luxury SUVs. A team of 10 including handlers, vets, and assistants. The mayor, Clara Evans, greeting him in the town square with fanfare fit for a dignitary, locals crowding around, eager to see the man whose name graced agribusiness magazines and society columns. It's an honor to have the greatest horse breeder in the Southwest in our humble town, Clara declared, Mendoza, 60. With a general's posture and a politician's smile, waving, the pleasure's mine. When I heard Redstone was reviving its spring festival, I felt it my duty to honor the event. Tradition and excellence are values we must preserve, right? The crowd cheering, except for 3 figures on the edge of the square, the lake glowing gold in the distance. Its calm a stark contrast to the tension brewing, the wildflowers along the square trembling in the breeze, the plains stretching wide and unbroken, their roots deep in the Texas soil. John, Mary Ellen, and Ethan had come to town for supplies, not expecting the commotion. Look, there's Conqueror, Ethan pointed, his voice betraying admiration. The horse a vision, jet black with a perfect white star on its forehead, moving with the grace of a champion. Mendoza, impeccably dressed, chatting with judges and officials. Esperanza, though brushed to a shine by Ethan that morning, looking out of place, her coat lacking the artificial gloss of expensive products, her stance dignified but untheatrical. Grandpa, you sure? Mary Ellen asked softly as whispers spread, John nodding. eyes on the main arena. We're here for my father's memory and our kid's future. The mayor spotting John. Look who's here, John Parker. Clara called, to John's dismay. Alejandro, you must meet the Parkers. They used to be the best horse breeders in the region. Mendoza turning. Parker? Ah, yes. Thomas Parker. I knew your father in the 80s, a good man. The wildflowers along the arena trembling in the breeze, the plains stretching wide and unbroken, their roots deep in the Texas soil. Mendoza approached, his smile not reaching his eyes, a pleasant surprise. I doubted you'd come, his gaze sliding to Esperanza, the smile turning condescending. And this is your champion? This is Esperanza, John replied simply, Mendoza circling the mare, his expertise assessing, and illusion, right? No pedigree, I assume, age 15? Good conformation, though, in her prime. She might have been a decent broodmare, pausing, choosing his words. I've always admired traditional breeding, quaint. In a way, shame the market demands more. The veiled jab landing. Ethan stepping forward, face red with indignation, but John stopping him. The market buys and sells, Mendoza, but it doesn't understand what it means to raise a true companion. Mendoza's eyes hardening, then smiling again. Fascinating philosophy. Perhaps we should test it. A demonstration, the lake glowing gold in the distance. It's come a testament to the challenge unfolding, the wildflowers enduring, their roots deep in the Texas soil. What kind of demonstration? John asked, voice neutral, Mendoza's eyes gleaming. A race. Your traditional methods against modern breeding. Your heart against my pedigree, the crowd murmuring. Unless you'd rather preserve your mare's reputation. The provocation hanging in the air. John feeling the weight of eyes, Ethan's expectation, Mary Ellen's concern, the locals' curiosity, the breeze carrying the scent of cut grass and damp earth. One lap around the festival grounds, John said finally. No professional jockeys, just the owners, Mendoza's smile widening. No jockeys? You're sure? My rider could give your mare a fair advantage. John steady. Horses don't run alone. The bond between horse and rider is what we're testing, isn't it? A flash of irritation crossing Mendoza's face, quickly masked, as you wish noon. John confirmed. The wildflowers along the square trembling in the breeze, the plains stretching wide and unbroken, their roots deep in the Texas soil. As Mendoza walked away, Mary Ellen pulled John aside. Are you crazy? That horse was bred to race. You haven't competed in years. John's eyes firm. It's not about winning, Mary Ellen, though a flicker betrayed his desire. Then what's it about? Reminding myself, and maybe teaching Ethan, that some things can't be bought. Mary Ellen sighing, recognizing his resolve. Let me get Esperanza ready. I still remember what your father taught me. The next 2 hours a flurry of activity. The Parkers working as a team, Mary Ellen checking Esperanza's hooves and legs. Ethan brushing her mane, whispering encouragement. Frank running between helping John and scouting Conqueror, returning with reports. They've got a vet just for stretching his legs. And a guy for muscle massages. How's that fair? John smiling, adjusting the old saddle. Life's rarely fair, Frank. That's why we need principles to guide us. The lake shimmering faintly. It's come a beacon of the lesson coming, the wildflowers enduring, their roots deep in the Texas soil. At 11:30, Clara approached, visibly uneasy. John? This challenge is drawing a crowd. Folks are even betting, hesitating, maybe reconsider, to avoid, well, humiliation. John firm, I've considered it, Clara. And decided some things matter more than pride. The mayor nodding. Tracks marked. 1 lap. About 2 miles. Competitors start at the judge's signal. Good luck. You'll need it. As she left, an unexpected figure appeared. Carlos Jimenez, an old rival from John's competing days, limping over. Parker, he greeted gruffly. Heard about this madness. Come to see me humiliated, Carlos? The older man shrugging, came to see someone take on that arrogant Mendoza. He thinks he can buy respect like his trophies. Eyeing Esperanza, she's got good stamina, steady pace at first. Save energy for the last turn. Mendoza's black is fast but impatient, and Mendoza's a mediocre rider hiding behind pros. Extending his hand, John shaking it after a moment. Thanks, Carlos. Don't make me look foolish for betting on you. The wildflowers along the track trembling in the breeze, the plains stretching wide and unbroken, their roots deep in the Texas soil. Noon arrived with blazing heat, the crowd lining the makeshift track, Excitement thick in the air, John mounting Esperanza, feeling her tremble with anticipation. "Easy, girl," he whispered, stroking her neck. "Just you and me, like always." Mendoza on Conqueror, the black horse restless, pawing the ground, his head adorned with Italian leather. "Fine animal," John said sincerely. Mendoza smirking. 3 generations of careful breeding, his grandsire won at Kentucky. John nodding. "Great lineage. But today it's him running, not his ancestors." Mendoza's smile faltering. The judge stepping up. "Rules are simple. 1 lap, first to cross the finish line wins, no intentional blocking." Raising a flag. "Ready." The world narrowing to John and Esperanza. The crowd's murmur fading, the heat, the dust, all focusing into that moment. "Go." The flag dropping, Conqueror bolting like an arrow, his explosive power taking an early lead. The lake glowing gold in the distance, its calm a testament to the race unfolding, the wildflowers enduring, their roots deep in the Texas soil. Esperanza accelerated gradually, finding her rhythm under John's patience. By the first turn, Conqueror leading by 20 yards, the crowd buzzing, many already celebrating Mendoza's victory, Mary Ellen gripping Ethan's hand. Frank shouting encouragement lost in the noise. "He's too far back." Ethan worried. "Race ends at the finish line." Mary Ellen replied. Eyes on John. Atop Esperanza, John stayed focused, feeling her respond to every command, their bond built over years allowing silent communication. On the far straight, Conqueror showing signs of unrest, pulling against the reins as Mendoza tried to control his pace. "Patience," John murmured. Esperanza gradually speeding up. "He'll come to us." The wildflowers along the track trembling in the breeze. The plains stretching wide and unbroken, their roots deep in the Texas soil. The second turn brought the first shift. Conqueror, caught in his own excitement and poorly managed by Mendoza, taking the curve too wide, losing ground. Esperanza turning precisely, guided by John's experienced hand. The gap closing. Carlos, in the makeshift stance, smiling. Old Fox still knows his moves. He muttered. The final straight ahead, Conqueror's lead down to 10 yards, sweat gleaming on his neck. Mendoza visibly tense, alternating between whipping and pulling the reins, confusing the horse. John leaning closer to Esperanza, his voice a steady murmur. "Now, my heart, now's our moment." Esperanza finding a reserve of energy, her hooves pounding with renewed determination. Closing the gap, 5 yards, 3, neck and neck, the crowd erupting as the horses drew even. Mendoza's face a mask of fury, John's serene, one with his mare, the finish line nearing. The lake glowing gold in the distance, its calm a testament to the triumph unfolding, the wildflowers enduring, their roots deep in the Texas soil. In a desperate move, Mendoza whipped Conqueror relentlessly, the cruel sound echoing, the horse surging forward out of fear, but it was unsustainable. In the final yards, as Conqueror struggled, Esperanza, guided by trust, surged ahead by a head, crossing the finish line to stunned cheers, silence lasting a moment before exploding into celebration. Ethan running to John, Mary Ellen, and Sarah Bennett, who joined to watch, embracing, tears in their eyes. John dismounting, legs shaky, hugging Esperanza's neck, whispering gratitude, looking up to see Mendoza approaching, his face rigid. "Beginner's luck," Mendoza said, voice tight. "My horse was off today, under normal conditions." Under normal conditions, John cut in softly. "A good rider would admit when he's been bested with honor." The wildflowers along the arena trembling in the breeze, the plains stretching wide and unbroken, their roots deep in the Texas soil. Mendoza's eyes flashed, but Clara stepped between them, announcing John and Esperanza's victory to the crowd's delight. Mendoza retreating, visibly furious, the Parkers surrounding John. Ethan recounting every second, Sarah stroking Esperanza, whispering praise, Mary Ellen holding John's hand. "You were right. It wasn't about winning." John smiling, watching the crowd, their faces now filled with genuine respect. Not the awe Mendoza commanded, but something deeper. "No," he disagreed. "It was about remembering who we are." Carlos approaching, a rare smile on his face. "Parker, looks like the old ways still have value." John shaking his hand. "Always did, Carlos. Always did." The lake glowing silver in the dusk, its calm a testament to the lesson learned, the wildflowers enduring, their roots deep in the Texas soil. As the sun dipped, casting golden hues over the plains, the Parkers prepared to head home. Esperanza, tired but content, walking beside John, her steps light, as if the years had lifted. "What now, Grandpa?" Ethan asked, still buzzing. John looking at his grandson, then Mary Ellen, Sarah, and Esperanza, who'd restored not just the family's pride but their faith in their path. "Now we go home, and take it one day at a time, like always." But something had shifted. A new chapter beginning at the Parker Ranch, not just about horses and races, but staying true to oneself when the world insists your way is wrong. The crew gathering that evening, coffee steaming. Frank saying, Grayson's new man, Victor, was at the festival, watching. Tom by the window. Ridge has movement. The lake glowing silver as night deepened, the plains stretching wide. Wildflowers enduring, their roots deep in the Texas soil. The victory a reminder of their strength, but the fight far from over.